Slowly but surely. Put your hands together and put it on your head. Put your hand on your head, brother. Put your hand on your head. Say after me, this is how I think. This includes those complicated Adventists who are always suspicious about everything that happens. Just put your hand on your head. It's your head. I am not bewitching you. Put your hand on your head. Say after me, this is how I think. Come on, say like men are in the house. This is how I think. Put your hand on your heart if there is anything inside there. Say after me, this is how I feel. Come on guys, you're too weak men. You're not too much vegetables. This is how I feel. Put your hand in your hand. Say after me, this is how I do. Now you know what you must do. One more time. This is how I think. This is how I feel. And this is how I do. Every man in this house who is African must know that an Ethiopian cannot change his skin. And a leopard cannot change its spots. No matter how much we try to become white, we will never be white. In as much as we are trying to be white, the whites are not trying to be black. So let me start off where it's very uncomfortable. Right on the deep end, I'll find you, don't worry, if I lose you. Every time you try to be like me, you are depriving me an opportunity to experience you. Every time you try to be like me, you are depriving me an opportunity to experience you. Every time we try as black people to be like white people, we are depriving the white people an experience to experience us. We have picked up a religion that whitewashes us from ourselves. No wonder some of our prayers never get answered. Because every time you pray for a house, someone buys it in America. Because you pray in English. Let me speak like an African. Good afternoon, kings, princes, noblemen, and wise men. Indoga brethren is not African. We greet each other properly. Adults are adults. Young people are young people. So let me start off by controversy. This thing of us thinking that a man must have one wife is not right. Amen. Yeah, Masabata, what do you imagine? You tell me now, umfazi one is not enough. Well, you have one wife, but you have a few girlfriends and a few children in the bush. So let's not waste each other's time. But I'm not here to be discussing infidelity issues. We are not here to agree. We are here to share ideas. It's not right for a man to have one wife. A man must have two wives. Put it on record and quote me when you say it. That Maponga said, I need a second wife. You are not enough. Please, Mama, let's go together nicely before you. And please, when you are recording, don't cut it until I finish the statement. Otherwise, you will quote me out of context. We must have two wives at that pause. I pause. Wait and get the full picture. Amen. Yes. In the Bible, the book of Genesis tells us, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Then God goes to town to create Eden. After he has finished creating Eden, then he creates Adam. And then he tells Adam, look after Eden. After that, then he creates Eve. To give Eve to Adam, who had Eden. The first wife is land. The second one is the one you sleep with. It's illegal to make a woman pregnant before the land is pregnant. Don't be in a hurry looking for Eve's legs not sweated with the first wife, which is land. Teach your children properly. Before they can find a woman, let them find land. And until land is pregnant, you will bear children to poverty. Men are a connecting cable between the past and the future. That's why between our legs, there is a cable that is hanging. This cable is intended to connect the past and the... Before you connect, double check on the piece of land that you are connecting to. Because that land is responsible for bringing up your next generation. You can't connect with your eyes closed, as many of us do. You must open your eyes and see the land before you connect. That's why you must use your brain first before you use your cable. Respect your history. Or let me speak like an African. Respect your ancestors. Ask me why. They lie in the grave, but they are buried in your genes. When you hold your cable, you are holding all of them together. It's not a personal issue, as some of us use these cables for entertainment. It cannot be entertainment. It's a responsibility. When you hold your cable, you are holding time. You are holding genes. You are holding life. You are holding continuity. You are God. Ra. Creating. Bringing things that are invisible to the visible world. The whole world is trapped between your legs. And the woman's womb, because of the waters that are inside, becomes a medium that makes the invisible visible. When a seed is planted, it takes everything that you are and everything that they were so that it becomes. When I'm saying respect your ancestors, I'm saying respect the blood that runs inside you. For that's not your business. That's our business. You are carrying a tribe. You are carrying a nation. You cannot use your tool as a weapon of mass destruction. Or use it for digging graves. Every hole that you find does not mean it must be penetrated. Establish the fertility of the land. And being a man is not getting a woman pregnant. Dogs do a better job. They make 16 children at one go. You can only make 1, 2 if you are lucky, 3 if you are abnormal. We cannot measure your masculinity by reproduction. Being a man is not taking a woman's panty down. It is supplying the soap and the perfume that makes sure that tomorrow morning it smells good. And when you are very interested in your woman, don't be embarrassed to wash her underwear. The neighbors will say, "Bamtakatile, uwasha ipendi yomfazi." Tina, who are educated, simply say, "He is washing the cover that leads to the door of his inheritance." Amen. How? Special sikhulume nini njengamasabatha bazalwane? Safa nengoma zakile impela lapha sisazoba lapha for quite some time. As Africans, I want us to agree that we, as men, we have lost the liberty of sitting as men. In these Amalikhotla, for example, traditional round tables, where uncles would sit with cousins in Bomshana and sharing information, sharing critical information. Now we live in concrete jungles, where every man for himself, God help us all. I want to take you through a small little presentation that will resurrect the African in you. Be patient with me as I do this. Trees we water, fruits we eat, seeds we plant. One more time. Trees we water, fruits we eat, seeds we plant. Follow carefully. The tree are your parents, your grandfathers, your mothers, and your fathers. There's no hopeless life as a person, as a man who is quarreling with his own father and his own mother. You go to witch doctors when your things are not moving well and you think that they've bewitched you. I want to tell you today, the biggest witchcraft is relationships that are not fixed between you and your parents. There's nothing wrong with you going back to your mother's old house and clean up the graves of your own fathers. There's nothing wrong. I didn't say worship them. Clean them up. In my tribe, there's a proverb that says, never allow your son to marry a girl when you have not seen the grandfather's graves. Where the grandfathers are buried. This represents our history. The roots support the tree. The tree does not support the roots. If you water your roots, you will have fruits. That is the Bible. Honor your father and your mother. The only commandment that has an insurance policy. And your days will be many that the Lord will give you. Prayer does not substitute personal responsibility at a family level. I challenge this church to its roots. We cannot have members who are easily convinced that they must return 10% of their salaries as tithe and offerings, yet they are sending 200 rand to their own mothers and fathers. You are worse than pagans. Your responsibility to the church cannot be more than your responsibility to your own family. Because you want to bribe God and bribe angels so that you enter heaven. How can you say you love God whom you have never seen when you hate your parents who have brought you into existence? If your religion makes you look after it more than your own parents, the Bible calls you a non-believer, worse than a pagan. Go and read for yourself. We are about to fucking stop order. Do you have a stop order to your mother? You want to pay tithes so that you have an office in the church, is it? True African spirit says, take your responsibility seriously. That is first bus stop before you run the church. This is the reason why I sometimes say, if we are not careful, we're going to develop a cult. What is a cult? A cult is that which takes human beings away from their families and creates an artificial family somewhere called Adventism. All of a sudden, your parents are demons. Those who don't believe in you in Adventism have become Satan. We're not Adventism, we Adventists, we Adventists, we Adventists. Before you notice it, David Koresh came out of that ideology. Fascist, you keep on driving that agenda, you end up in the midst of nowhere, where you can no longer recognize your own family for the sake of the church. That cannot be African. Africans will start at home. And what religion is it that will make you divorce your own parents? Trees, you water. Hello? You water your trees. Whether ubaba uthenga iquba afake emakhaleni, water that tree. Whether your mother is a sangoma or umtakati or a witch doctor, water that tree. God is not a fool. This is the door through which you came into existence. The prayers of your parents are far much more important than the prayers of your pastors. When your parents wish you well, it will be well with you. When your mother goes on you, go and cry. Go and cry. Make deals. You'll come back home with pockets that have holes. Why? Because when you don't secure your roots, you can never have fruits on the top side. Fruit we eat. Enjoy life, guys. Don't be too tight, only to end up in the grave. Come and join me. Let's ride bikes. Let's have fun. Enjoy life in the days of your youth, before the days of evil come nigh, when you shall say, I have no pleasure in them. This one is directed to Pastor Mwemba, who was heard publicly calling me a lunatic. I want to challenge him and say, you must come to Bikerville now. Let me see. Let me see. If you thought I was a lunatic now, you come. I'll put on my Haley and let's see what we can do on the freeways. But that's for another day. We come a long way. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Fruits must be enjoyed. Amen. Fruits must be. If you not read your Bibles, enjoy your life with the wife that God has given you, for this is your portion. Amen. Be enjoyed. Kolisa. Kolisa. Hey, have fun, have fun. Enjoy yourself. Hallelujah. Someone say amen out there. Yeah. Ukumtshele nje nkosikazi ukuthi akukukhumule ngibona ukuthi inkomo zami ziphi la. Amen. Hayi lokho nje cishe maleke cishe ibani ke cishe ibani thathi ingubo ke how kanti kwenziwani ke kwenziwani, what happening in here? Enjoy life. Hallelujah. Someone say amen out there. Enjoy la. Some of you guys will try to look holy here. These phones, if the Lord will give me power to say collect these phones, the things I will find on these phones and pictures and videos, heaven will collapse. You may as well enjoy it at home. Someone say amen out there. Enjoy life. Enjoy the fruit. Man nenkinga ngingifonela after the convention. Into zesilungu ziyasebenza, nezesintu ziyasebenza. Ya indoda nje ayikhathe. The Zulu method of cleaning the colon. Because when the colon is full of waste, the pipe does not stand. Yeah. Abashana bakona, but the young people here who don't know these things. And Lalelan Madoda, get all the men that are here, for the sake of health, reduce your sugar, reduce your salt a bit, and reduce your oils, increase bitter things. Because Baba, you go garlic, you go ginger, you go mang. Because after 40, guys, it's about health. Look after yourself. Hey, a glass of Coke, too much Coke. Because you pee on your shoes. Finally, no, the man if you get a quarter past. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, Africa. Hi, one way, half past 12. Half past 12. Hey, Basalwan. If you are before 12 years old, even 12 o'clock is allowed. 12 o'clock is allowed. But for men, quarter past is allowed also. But it's all about diet. It's all about diet, what we eat, so that our blood and our muscle. I'm saying these things, Madoda Kid, because there's nothing that destroys a man than a pipe that cannot come up. You are going to have a temper that you don't know. And you want to fight with people. Meanwhile, the problem is between your legs. Even if you can do 20 seconds every day, just at the same spot, just to be healthy. Because the amount of fat that is just sitting here tends to destroy other things that are below the belt. And, when South Africa gets bigger, Lesotho gets smaller. Namhlanje nama Africa, amen. Because men cannot just be men with ties and jackets. Men must be men in the truest sense of the word. And I think we must be comfortable to become men. I want us to move to the left slightly so that I can collect this and become an Adventist preacher before you go home and say other things that are not related to what I'm saying. Plants, trees, we water. Fruits, we enjoy. Seeds, we preserve. And we plant them for the next generation. Here are people that you are not allowed to sleep with. The door that you came through. You don't touch. Huh? Unyoko. Nabokoko. It's a no-go area. It's an abomination in Africa. Where your father came from. Just to see her nakedness is a curse. Later on, to sleep with her, unacceptable. Your mother, no. Don't even listen to those Europeans and Americans who swear and say motherfucker. No, we do not fuck mothers in Africa. Okay? We do not do that. It's African. So, ugogo, no mama, and no go area. Seeds that come out of you, no go area. Those are for another generation. No rape, please. Uncles, don't touch cousins and etc. Most dangerous group are relatives when it comes to children abuse. Children, no go area. Rape, it's a non-starter. If you want to be a sinner, become a professional sinner. Don't become wicked and sinful at the same time. Then we are cool and like a 5 rand, like a 10 rand, fucking deposit. I'm saying, if you want to be a sinner, then be professional about it. Because you may just go properly. I'm not saying prostitution is allowed. But I'm saying if you feel that you cannot control yourself, you would rather go to those that are willing. Than raping those that still have a future to anticipate. If I find you, it will be easier to take a milestone